Commsverse2025, welcome to Commsverse TV, another pre-event conversation, this time with eSim Copilot, interesting new starter in the eSim market. Let's introduce you to today. We've got Michael and Marijn. Hi guys, how are you doing today?
Hi Steve, great to see you.
Cool.
Hey buddy.
First time this year, you've been busy.
Who is me?
Yes, you. Of course.
Very busy. Very busy. I just came back from M365 Conf in Vegas. I literally just a few days ago, well, actually yesterday, came back from Collab Summit in Düsseldorf. And of course, I'm looking forward to Commsverse in 2 weeks or something. So
always sign of a busy diary when you're never quite certain how far to go. So where was your last business trip, Michael?
My last business trip, I think the big one was Mobile World Congress back in March. So I've been fortunate, and the last week, my week started running 63 kilometers around the hills of Guildford in prep for Commsverse. So looking forward to a great event in a few weeks' time.
Nice.
Wow.
Yeah.
So was that actually running, like long distance running?
Yeah, no, a trail run around the Focht Way in Guildford, which is a lovely part of the UK.
Nice.
So,
Okay.
Yeah, that's how the week started, and the rest of the week was a lot of hobbling around.
No regrets, of course, just the symptoms of the effort taken.
Yeah,
that's cool.
Yeah, exactly.
All right, so
And here I am trying to do my 10K steps a day, and you're just doing like 60K just in a. Oh, okay.
Yeah. Who's the other guy? There's another MVP as well who does all of this stuff running around the Yorkshire Dales, and every so often we get a link to follow him on a map somewhere. So was people able to track you on your jog, or was it just
we had we all had GPS trackers in case we ended up in the wrong place. But yeah, it was a fun day.
Nice, good fun.
Nice.
eSimCopilot, tell us all about it.
Yeah, so I've been working in the mobile industry for the past decade as we embark on this disruption of how you distribute mobile connectivity. We all know what a SIM card is, and we use them. Many of us still use them, but it's quickly getting replaced by eSIM technology. And we started eSimCopilot based on the theory that we wanted to make it easy to distribute eSIMs across a business. And do it through tools that businesses use every day. And so eSimCopilot is an intelligent assistant for businesses to manage their mobile connectivity. And so within Microsoft Teams, you can order, manage, get help for your mobile plans, all digitally through eSimCopilot. And we launched that to the market at Mobile World Congress earlier this year. Been amazing reception by companies and partners looking to integrate that into their products. And yeah, exciting to be exhibiting at Commsverse in a few weeks' time.
Your first Commsverse.
Yeah. Couldn't resist a trip down to the racetrack, so it should be a fun day.
It is a great location.
I'm sure. Yeah. And also the first time that you will be going outside when the alarm goes, the fire alarm goes blaring off.
Michael doesn't know that. You're ruining his expectations.
No, it's true.
Right.
No. Every year we have this fire alarm going off, so we all need to go outside. So
is that to stop people drinking all the beer at the bar or something like that?
No, I think this is part of the networking of the event. Let's get everyone into one place.
Okay, fantastic.
To talk about. It was quite funny. I think that Mark had all the burger buns marked with the logo. And I think that's what set the alarm off last year. So they were all burning the logo into the burger buns. It set the fire alarms off. Yeah, so it's become a bit of a story the last 2-3 years. We all seem to end out in the sunshine and a bit of fresh air, which is fun. So yes, store. Have you been to the venue before? I guess I know you're local to it.
I have actually with my family, and the motor museum nearby is fantastic. So yeah, I've been down there.
No, that's cool. And have you done the Mercedes cars around the track?
No, I haven't. I haven't.
Ah, you need to find your
I'm
best
not a
client
not a
and
big
then.
rev head, but
Oh, you're not? Oh well,
no.
it is worth the experience. I didn't
Yeah,
try it
fantastic.
out. Might have to put it on the list again this year. There is a story that Marijn always hates that I love telling because we were racing around the track and we were behind him, and my driver radioed his driver and asked him to pull over because he was going round too slow. But Marijn's a very careful driver. Yeah, but it was quite funny. Get out my way.
I guess.
It's fun. It is a great venue. I think it's probably one of the best venues, and the event itself is expanding this year. So they were only over one floor. They're now over both sides of the exhibition space. So it's going to be quite good fun. So what are you bringing to the show?
Yeah, so we'll be able to. We're bringing our purple robot, which is our big mascot for eSimCopilot. So everyone has to come out and check out our purple robot. But basically, we'll be bringing a series of demos around, the whole experience of being able to chat with a mobile network, like a human, and ask it for a mobile plan, get help when you run into trouble, and get connected, all through Microsoft Teams. Get your mobile device connected to a new mobile network all through the Teams environment. And we think it's a really unique take into how to distribute a mobile plan instead of giving out SIM cards or getting a QR code to scan. Why not do that securely through Teams? And what better place to show it off as in the Microsoft Teams conference at Commsverse. So you'll have to come by and check that out.
Yeah, because how does that work then? Do you have like an application in Teams, or does that work as in a conversation with a bot that I say, hey, I'm going to France, I need another SIM card, and it will tell me more. I'm intrigued.
Yeah, sure. So within the Microsoft app catalog, you can install eSimCopilot into your Teams estate, so all of your users can get access to eSimCopilot and interact with it as an application. And within there is effectively an AI model and chatbot that you can interact with, and ask it questions. So if you've got a trip to Tokyo next week and want a mobile plan to cover you when you're in Tokyo, you just tell it your flight details, tell it how long you're going for, and it will find a mobile plan for you and go and activate that with a local mobile network in Japan, and then issue you the eSIM directly in the chat window. And then if you have a bit of trouble or need more data while you're over on your trip to Tokyo, you can come back to it, ask it for help, and it will have all the context about what eSIMs you've been issued and can help you out. And so it uses your Teams profile, so you don't need to download other apps. You don't need to give away any of your personal data. It can all be billed to your business, and it just happens through the Teams environment. And so you just click a link on your phone, and you're away with a new mobile plan.
That is very cool.
So does that mean you need to pre-register your eSIM with the app so that it knows who you are and what services to give, or does it pull it straight from your identity?
Yeah, and this is something we got a lot of feedback from businesses that have adopted eSIM is largely their policy was to use consumer focused apps and ask you to sign up with personal information, give over a corporate credit card, and all of a sudden data from the enterprise is leaking over to consumer applications, and they're installing unknown applications onto your phone that effectively request location permissions. It suddenly has all this information about you, where you are, and stuff that it really doesn't need to as a business tool.
Yeah.
And so what we've done is we pull all of that from your Teams profile. We work out, your department, your cost center, your line manager, and then we use that to determine, what plans should be offered to you, what you're permitted to purchase, and we don't ask the employee to hand over anything that the company administrator hasn't given access to.
Cool. So, is it something that, for example, I know that a company that I work for, we changed over our SIM providers a year or so ago, and it took us about 6 months to get the old SIMs in and the new ones out and all that kind of stuff. I'm assuming adoption and the business side of this then becomes easy.
Yeah, exactly. And I've worked with other service providers where there is largely a poor chap inside a business whose job it is to coordinate these deployments of new handsets,
Yeah,
new
poor
SIM
Joe.
cards,
Got it.
making sure, yeah, and they're tracking all this stuff in spreadsheets, people coming into the office. Some guy loses their little paper clip to put in the new SIM, all of that kind of stuff. And with eSIM, it becomes a case of keep your old SIM card in your phone, get issued your new eSIM, install it digitally, run the porting process for however long it takes, and the number will just switch over to the eSIM as the porting takes place. You don't have to hang around in the office to make sure it works. It will just switch over, whenever the porting process completes. And eSIM makes it so much easier from a logistics perspective to manage a mobile estate than this whole swapping SIM cards, making sure that you had the paperclip on you so you could swap the SIM card when the porting had completed. All of that kind of stuff is stuff of the past, thankfully.
Yeah,
But I have to say, enterprises still aren't really embracing eSIM probably as much as consumers are. So I think there's still some way to go in educating businesses around, how to manage all of this stuff.
yeah, because as you say, like consumers, if friends of mine are going to the US, for example, then they'll always do like an extra eSIM just to have like proper data connectivity. So, but you're saying like corporations are not really using this that much yet? Because I could see this as like a huge cost thing.
Yeah, I think largely from a distribution perspective, it's not super simple to go and distribute to the end users securely these new eSIM details for every employee to activate, right? And so the tools that mobile operators are providing to businesses aren't tightly integrated with MDM systems. That largely it's all a little bit of a headache. And so better the devil you know sometimes that if it's not broke, don't try and fix it and stick with the SIM card and deal with the pain. And I think this is where we're coming in, is that the future is going to eSIM only devices, right? If you buy an iPhone in the US, it has no SIM tray. And that future is coming to the rest of the world. And the tools and how you use this technology need to grow up a bit to make use of it.
Yeah, because it's really silly to think that we are super mobile these days with our laptops, with the phones, with whatever, but we still need to have like this physical little minuscule thing that we need to pry in every time. I mean, how caveman like is that technology? It's so silly.
Yeah,
Yeah,
very
it's
true.
25 years. I think we've been using SIM cards in our phones. They've got smaller, which actually in some ways has made it harder because we all know the days of cutting them to be smaller or going to get a smaller one. But um, trying to explain that to your child who gets frustrated when they can't rewind the TV, is it just doesn't make sense to these kids that are just growing up with digital instant kind of services. And so it is going away slower than we probably would all
Want.
like it to. But yeah, it's one of the last remaining bits of like physical distribution that we actually use every day.
Yeah, it's very true. So presumably you can have more than one SIM on a phone then, if you can have an eSIM and a physical SIM, or can you have multiple eSIMs? I'm trying to educate myself here.
Yeah. So you could use your SIM tray with another eSIM profile. So you could have, and both of those would be active. So you could have one SIM card used for your work and the other for personals on the same device. So you could do that. You could actually have two eSIMs active at the same time. So you could have one eSIM for business and one for your personal use. But also you could have, 8, 10 other eSIMs not active, but just in storage that you could turn on when maybe there's a business continuity event in your company, right? And a mobile network goes down. Now it doesn't happen that often, but when it does, it's like we have seen it in the last 5 years when one of the major operators in the UK completely failed for a day, and POS systems, Uber drivers, they basically couldn't do anything. And so you can have an eSIM in your phone just there for backup. Many people have them for when they go on holidays, because there's some very affordable kind of eSIMs for roaming, particularly in the consumer space. And yeah, you can have 8, 10 different mobile operators all on the one phone, which you just never ever would have done that with a SIM card.
Actually, that indeed makes sense. I mean, most of the companies I know have their internet coming in on a big line, but they always have a backup line for when that internet provider should go down. So why don't we have something like that on our phones, when we have like a dormant one that we can easily turn on when our operator should go down for some reason?
Yeah. We had some enterprises in the COVID times use eSIM as a way to effectively allow all their employees to get connected whilst they were in a new location. So they were always office-bound employees, but suddenly are now working from home and needed the best possible broadband connection. Their home broadband wasn't sufficient, so they were using mobile backup effectively to get them connected when they rushed home. And that was particularly in the banking space, where they moved from really highly regulated, environments, that they suddenly have to go and do that same activity at home, and doing that over corporate networks, and then facilitating that through eSIM was a way to get connectivity to these people without actually physically, going to see them. So there's a number of break glass procedures where this can play a role. That's for sure.
I presume you have a lot of automation then in this process as well. I'm guessing that's where AI fits into this a lot. So based upon it can make decisions around where you're located, I guess, the kind of services you're looking, and I guess the chat bot, the application itself, has probably got a lot of AI driven. And as your company title has Copilot in there, I'm just guessing that it has some hint of AI.
Yeah. So our view is that the world is rapidly changing from having individual applications to do certain functions, where you have 100 apps on your phone. And you will notice, if you're a user of AI, you will notice your usage of some of these apps is diminishing as these agents become capable of doing things on your behalf. And so what we are as eSimCopilot is effectively that agent for all your telecom um, activities. And so we take care of all the integration with the mobile networks, and then make that available in tools like Copilot and Microsoft Teams and in Outlook as a as a chatbot. And we think that way of interacting and doing like these kind of processes will become highly automated with the use of AI. But it's not trivial to build that on existing processes, where actually you had a person distributing SIM cards using a spreadsheet to do all of that within a business. And so that's where we think AI can play a real useful and practical kind of purpose for a business.
Superb. All right. Well, this is obviously not a small subject. So you're going to be at Commsverse doing all the demonstrations. Do you have a little red robot swag giveaway then?
Wow, you have to wait and see what we've got in store for that. But my kids love the purple robot. They think they think it's great. So
That's what I
hopefully
got.
those
Yeah,
at
no way.
Commsverse do as well. Yeah.
Well, when we have the studio open, we always go and do a tour of get all the swag and all the cuddlies and all the bits and bobs, and we throw them in the table in the middle so that everybody gets to see what they have. Of course, really, we do it so we get first choice of them at the end of the show, and we don't miss out on any
Yeah.
cool things. But that's okay. It makes a nice background. All right. So look, so they get to see you at Commsverse. Do you know what stand you're on yet, or whereabouts you are? No.
I think
Yes.
we'll be at S10 at Commsverse, so you'll see us with our booth there, and yeah, look, there'll be three of us from the team um, traveling down, so you'll get to meet the brains behind the whole operation at the event,
Excellent.
and we all have the ability to talk underwater about eSIM and mobile networks, and so I think it should be fun.
Oh, cool. People know where to get the info
My
from.
co-founder and I. Yeah, the co-founder and I of our company, we built the first application that allowed a user to install an eSIM on the iPhone back in 2018. So we've been working in this space for a number of years, and it's great to see how it's gone from, one little app that provides an eSIM to hundreds, and now is kind of mainstream where your friends and relatives actually know what an eSIM is, and you don't have to explain it to them in great detail. So it's exciting to be on this journey of this new tech getting rolled out to customers.
Awesome. Well, we hope that Commsverse is successful for you. We will certainly drop by and get some more information because I think this eSIM stuff is something that our customers certainly would know about and can use. And of course, we wish you the greatest success at Commsverse. So, welcome to your first year at Commsverse.
Yeah, thanks very much. Looking forward to it.
Nice, cool.
We'll see
All
you there.
right, so we will catch you in a few weeks' time, and Commsverse Live will be happening. Commsverse TV will be running live. We may see Michael again or somebody else from the organization. We'll be talking to various sponsors from the show live, so we'll catch you then. So, guys, time to say goodbye. It's time to say hi, and we'll see you later. So goodbye from me. Ciao.
Bye, and see you soon.
Ciao, guys. Bye bye.